Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome back. Alright, so, we ended with you guys outside of the Magic Citadel, so we're gonna start with you guys first, and then we're gonna switch over to our new character.
Alright.
So, oh, I messaged everyone, didn't I? Did I forget to do that? Nope.
All I saw was the level.
Nope. I did do the message to level everyone up. For everyone to level up. Okay. Yes, so you all awaken up Nox's old outdoor house, the cove, the little nesting area. It's bright and early in the morning. The birds are chirping. There's a slight breeze in the wind. And everything's going alright.
We need to go find the new Master of Magic. Where would she be?
Okay, the static from Mason is driving me to distraction.
I know. I was Mason. Static.
Look,
It's just picking up background noise.
I literally don't have anything else, and I'm moving my speaker. I don't know.
Yeah, but can you do like push to talk or something?
Sure. I've never really done push to talk, so let me try it.
You got this, I'm certain.
Or you could just
Yeah,
mute yourself when you're not talking and do it that way.
I think that's what push to talk is.
Well, yes and no.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
Alright. Nox, what were you about to say? Sorry.
No, that was like I was just struggling to think. So wait, everyone's suddenly here.
We only have the
so
three of us right
It
now.
was only the three of you. So, you, Mason, and Fenrir are here.
Okey-dokey.
Yes. If you remember, if someone's not here, they're with you guys, just in the background.
Teleport, yeah.
Just in the background, not saying anything, not doing anything.
Does Mason know what happened last time?
Yes, because he was present.
Or was it? I thought it was only two of us last week, my bad.
Or do you mean the player?
The player-wise, I have no clue. Character-wise, yes.
Jason, do you know what's going on?
No. Personally, I've had to deal with roommate moving, and I've
That's fair.
just been going
That's
all
fair.
over the place.
So, essentially what happened is, you met with the cat lady. Cat lady gave you a bunch of information and stuff. She leaves. Like, it's now gone. She gives you information that the angels within the Tier Empire are synthetic. The quote-unquote angels.
Church of the Saviors, not the
Yeah. And then, the Dryads, protecting the Dryads Forest within the, university, surrounded you all and gave you guys your blessing. Which I don't think I made, but we talked about last time.
The cat lady also recommended we find the new head of magic at this school and get her in on the loop for this stuff, so that she can help us assassinate the evil folks that are running the school.
Okay.
And then we'll move on to the Church of the Saviors. That's the general working plan.
Alright.
So I moved my speaker. Do you guys still hear static?
Yes.
All right.
Only when you talk, so it is better.
Okay. Where could we find this woman?
Jens Cedric was the previous head of magic, right?
Correct.
Same place, I would imagine. I suppose I'm the only character who actually knows where that is,
Yes.
because everyone else has died or left or gone to hell, literally.
Or
okay, let's
has
start.
disappeared into
Right.
the void, or... Yeah.
Okay, that got shady quick.
Fine, it's fine.
You clickety
So yeah, it was the library, right? His office was upstairs in the library.
Yep, way upstairs, because if you remember, the library has like 100 odd floors, so...
Yeah, but that was an elevator.
Yeah.
He was
No,
up
really.
the elevator.
There is an elevator that brought you directly to him.
A really
Yes.
unhelpful assistant on the front desk.
Maybe she's still there.
So, yeah. I would just say the head of magic's office is at the top of the library.
Alright.
The previous was.
Fair enough. Might as well go look there. I don't see any reason to do anything but the direct route. It's not like they're reason to dislike us at the moment. I don't think. They wouldn't watch out for you, would they?
Well, none of the staff or anyone would, given that I was a resident here for many years.
Unless they were
But
told by new arrivals.
they themselves, the ones we're here for, may well be keeping an eye out.
Alright.
Bear in mind, he's still appearing with the human crystal.
Mm-hmm. As you do so, I'm gonna skip forward a little bit and do a little sidebar. You guys, go ahead, go back, go on the train, and you guys are headed to it. Meanwhile, whilst you're on the train, over in the stealth classes is a young woman waking up in her dorm room as all day, every day, when she notices a unfamiliar letter pushed underneath her door.
Oh, so she didn't get the creepy doorman.
Hey, don't call my mailman creepy.
He appears everywhere, like everywhere.
It's because we like mailmen.
He's like a Hogwarts owl.
Maybe that's the point.
Maybe he is an owl.
Maybe he's an extra-dimensional being. You will never know.
Alright, continue.
Alright. Go ahead, what you were gonna say.
Okay. Thinking. With the unfamiliar letter, I am just gonna poke at it before I even touch it.
Poke at it with what?
So we have a 10-foot pole.
Suspicious
like-
package.
Yeah, just with like a stick or something that I have in my dorm.
You poke it. Nothing happens.
Anything happen?
It moves
I'm very-
slightly underneath the door again.
Okay. I extremely carefully pick it up and see if there's anything written on the envelope itself.
So on the front of it, as you pick it up, is in all fancy writing your name. As you turn it over, there is a wax seal with the imprint of a cat.
Do I recognize the seal?
You do not.
Okay. Very carefully with one of my daggers, rather than break the seal, I'm just going to try and like lift it up, just in case there's anything embedded in that wax, and pull out the letter.
With ease. Nothing happens.
Been hurt by a previous DM, haven't you?
No, I'm just a very suspicious person.
Trying to frantically find the letter that I wrote already, and I lost it. Love that, don't you?
It's been like 1 minute since since you brought up.
I
the letter.
wrote it a while ago, okay? I forget where I put it. What the fuck is this
Yeah,
note?
because this was meant to be like, what, two weeks ago?
Yeah. I wrote it a while ago, and I lost the note, so I'm gonna be doing this on the spot. Alright.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
you open up, you take out the contents. There is a second envelope without a seal in it inside. This one has, this one says, "Do not open unless I am gone." Okay? As you open the main page letter, it is an invitation. I, the cat lady, hereby invite you to come to my house within the magic citadel for a spot of tea and to discuss your future. And on the back, there is a crude drawing of a map with directions on how to get to her address.
All right.
Bam, bam.
Okay. Don't have any plans for the day necessarily, so I'm going to scope out the area on the back of the map. On the map.
Alrighty. Still having that same. That's a weird. Okay, I'm still having the same. Sorry. Side note, because I wanted to bring up your character sheet. I'm still having that same bug. Remember that we discovered when I was trying to open
Oh,
it?
yeah,
I have to open
yeah.
it through another player. I'm still experiencing that. It's odd. Okay. I wrote that down. And of course, different note has the letter than other things that I wrote down about your character. With a note that I do find. Gotta love that. Alright. So, you return and you exit out of your dorm, the stealth classrooms and dorms are pretty elaborate. It is very far underground, and so going through. The question is, are you going to go through the secret train line, or are you going to go through the normal train line?
Secret train line.
So, you go through, and you go through the halls and everything, and you enter into the train for the secret train line. As you go, you are taken straight over to the Magic Citadel. In which case, I'm gonna need you to roll me a quick stealth check.
T.
Alright. Through the crowd as it is coming to, it's coming to around the time when, like, early morning classes are going to begin soon, so there's a large crowd. So you're able to slip out from the secret doorway from the train line, close the door up and seal it, and just blend right into the crowd out of the train station. As you travel along the streets, you see many, many people, many different people, and you get to the cat lady's, where the cat lady's house is supposed to be. And you see an empty lot.
Huh.
As the building is gone. I forgot to do a mic test.
Okay. Can I cast see invisibility just to double check that it's not actually just invisible?
Yes, you can. And there's nothing there.
Wonderful. I take out the second envelope.
You open the second envelope, and the letter reads, "Unfortunately, if you are standing in front of an empty lot, it means I have left to go to the great beyond. Please go to the library and ask the receptionist to speak to the head of magic. There will be others on their way as well." Please give the locket sealed within this envelope to the head of magic. She will understand its meaning and will help you. Inside the envelope is a small silver locket with a silver chain.
I'm gonna look inside the locket.
Right. You open the locket, and there is a depiction of a little girl.
I'll close the locket back up, and I'll head over to the library.
Alright.
Still cautious.
We're not being trusting, just
Yeah,
curious.
I'm curious. Yeah.
We need to gather more information before we follow the instructions exactly.
Sorry, 8 o'clock. As you go back through the streets, you go back to the library clock tower. Now, just a reminder for people who maybe are joining us later on, the clock tower is a giant tower filled from point 1 to point B, the entire face, is full of doors stacked next to each other around all sides of it. People are going in and out of all different manners of doors. These doors all bring you to the library.
I assume that I'm aware of which go-to
Yes.
gets to the front desk.
Yes, this is common knowledge. The doors will
Yeah.
bring you to the front desk area. Just straight up brings you to the front desk area.
Cool.
It is common knowledge. They explain it during orientation.
Right. Yeah, I will go in, walk up to the desk, and ask
So.
to see the magic.
As you enter, we're gonna shift over again. As you enter into the clock tower, your door shuts behind you. And Knox, Mason, and Fenrir, you are now just exiting the train station, owing to the clock tower, as you are faced with a different side of doors. Fenrir and Mason, this particularly is odd in that doors on a building that people are just going in and out of casually, where's the building? How are all these people fitting in?
This land is strange.
Can Mason do a quick perception check to make sure he's not missing something?
Go ahead and roll perception.
24.
So, you catch that every time the door opens, there is a silvery purple veil that people go through. Some kind of magic that they are traveling through as they go through the doors. And the doors will typically automatically close behind them without any person pulling them close.
Yeah, Mason will explain this to the others, what he's noticed.
Knox, this is not new news to you.
Standard.
Now, do they just make portals wherever they want? What?
It's not like your homeland. I suppose this is more magic than you've ever seen in one place.
Probably.
I suppose my sense of direction is not very useful with these supernatural problems. Do you know the way to the office still?
We just have to find the receptionist and take the lift.
Oh, then lead the way.
Leads the way.
As Knox goes into a door and it closes behind him.
Just left us like that.
He said lead the way.
Okay, sure, we'll follow.
Do you go through the same door or do you pick a different door?
Let's see if we get above a 5.
Are you rolling?
Yeah, I end up going through the same door. It's somewhat luck.
Okay. You go through the same door and the door closes behind you. Mason, what do you do as you're the only one standing outside now?
I'll be heading on in.
Do you go through the same door or a different door?
Yeah. Sorry, my throat's feeling a little off right now. Yeah, follow through. I'm actually gonna follow Fenrir. Make sure to keep an eye on him.
Alright, so you go through as well. As you enter, the area of which the doors convene at is slightly different. Instead of there just being a straight wall now it's kind of like a U corral with the open aired entrance going to the receptionist desk. Nox, as you're kind of waiting there, Fenrir and Mason, you both notice that you both exit out of two different doors.
Just kind of loud enough to motion at Nox. He's like, this place is weird.
Nox just sort of
Mason
like
just gives a happy shrug. His magic.
Nox grins slightly and just says, "Oh, it gets weirder."
Mm-hmm. As you go up to the receptionist desk, there is a woman at the receptionist desk already talking to the receptionist. I'm sorry, you wish to speak to whom?
Yes, I've been asked to speak to the head of magic.
Let me ring her. I need to see if she's expecting you. Please
Please
wait
do let her know.
in the circle.
Please let her know I'm here on behalf of the cat lady.
At that, she side eyes you. As she
I'm looking
is now
to see what
turned
reaction.
towards you, she now side eyes you and is like, okay, I will do so. And she turns back to what she was doing. She says to wait in the circle, which is a couple steps back from where you were standing.
We
Happily.
hear that.
Yep.
But what does the lady look like?
It is it's the same. Oh my gosh, I cannot remember
I will
what she
happily
looked
describe
like.
myself. I will happily describe myself.
I am
Oh.
curious if she's human as well, because we got a group of 3 in
No.
air quotes human.
So this
Weirdos. Well, Nox looked human.
That's what I
right
mean.
now.
We got 3
Nox is
in
more
air quotes
demon than
humans.
anything now.
No,
in the
no,
consideration
Kelda
of this
is-
world.
We all look human right now.
Yeah, Kelda is a halfling
Okay.
with like a pixie cut, dark hair. She's very pale, and it does look like she's like at all times trying to blend in with the area. So, yeah.
Kind of, after hearing that, he'll, Nur's just gonna whisper to his companions. Did the cat lady say something about new companions? Or someone else on the same
She
mission?
did say she had an introduction she'd hoped to make.
Do I hear them whispering? Can I make some kind of check?
Make a perception check.
Yeah.
I mean, I can say outright that Fenrir is not subtle.
Fenrir, go ahead and make me a freaking
Deception?
yeah, sure.
Something I'm not
Deception.
good at.
So I rolled a 12.
Sus check.
Sus check.
Okay,
That should be a thing.
Oh,
So
18.
minus-
Apparently this time I was quiet.
You do not hear. Surprisingly, you don't hear.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just keeping an eye on too many people.
Nox, do you go up to the receptionist?
Respond to what I said?
Nox would sort of step up behind. Bear in mind that he's like close to 7 feet tall, so he would just talk to the receptionist over halfling.
Yeah, I'm 3 foot.
Yeah. Sorry. You would just say, Seems we are both here to see the same person. No, all here to see the same person.
Yeah, Kelda kind of just like leans back to look up at you.
I can imagine you still facing the receptionist, but just like...
You're a full 4 feet taller than her. It's like,
Nurwook looks
assume
with like
many
heavy
people-
suspicion.
yeah, I assume many people wish to speak to the head of magic. It's,
Do you have the letter in your hand?
Good question.
Very good question.
Because Nox has received quite a few letters from the cat lady and would recognize it instantly.
She sends the most generic letters ever.
Yeah, I think I do have the second letter in my hand. Yeah.
So
Just-
the second letter
I
doesn't
was
have a seal on
double-checking.
it, Nox, but you do recognize the handwriting on the front.
From here. She has really noticeable handwriting.
Yes.
She does!
She is very noticeable handwriting because it is
She
very
dots her-
eloquent and very fancy.
She dots her eyes with little drawings of cats.
Exactly.
Like,
you
her
have
handwriting just speaks of the eons she's been alive, because no
Yes.
one else practices their handwriting that much.
And her T's, she has to draw a picture of a cat and then have the tail go through the line.
This is the worst cursive I've ever heard.
The exclamation marks look like little cat tails.
No.
Oh,
The most beautiful calligraphy.
Exactly.
love it. It would seem we were sent here by the same person.
The receptionist
Oh.
looks back over to you all, and she now notices Nox, and she goes, "Oh, you again."
Can I make an insight check just to see like what the vibe is right now?
Oh no, it's
Go
history.
ahead.
Is it romantic? Who knows?
Just checking the vibe.
I believe the term is disdain.
It
That's
is
19.
100% disdain.
They are exes.
Not just of those two, but also of the vibe. Like,
Non-romantic at all. Just, why the fuck are you here?
but also to his whole like, we've been sent here by the same person. It's like, what are you trying to say? Kind of thing.
He's telling the truth in that fact.
If
Um,
If I saw a really puzzled look from Kelda, he would literally say,
a really skeptical eyebrow.
yeah, he's used to just dumbfounded looks from Fenrir, so that is a lot more of a reaction than he's used to. He would just say, no one who is acquainted with the cat lady ever meets by chance. It is always planned.
I wouldn't say we're acquainted.
Well, she knows of you, and that's enough for me.
Mirror seems
Nox.
suspicious.
The receptionist says in a very, very toned sigh as she's like, I actually had a letter for you. But I guess I won't
And you
have to
didn't
send
tear
it.
it up.
Unfortunately, I teared up the first one in front of her. And she enchanted this one to not be able to be torn up. By me, specifically.
He just grins.
You know, you destroy everything in the first place, and now you're here again? Like, what the fuck?
Sorry, I'm not here to see you. I'm here to see the head of magic, and we know how well that goes.
Yeah, this time don't try to kill him. Or, kill her.
Mirror's just gonna
Well,
like
that
look at
does
Nox
depend
with,
on
like,
our
what?
hobbies.
Sure. She
Hilda
gets
feels
up.
Nox
very
just like
confident
kind of
being
waves
stuck
it off
between
behind
these
him
two
without
people.
looking at you.
She gets up from
Like,
her
"Oh, it's
desk,
nothing."
and it is at this point it's more obvious that there is a mechanical lever that is in tilted one direction with a handle. She clenches the handle, rears it back, and the circle that you are all standing in, a slight gate comes up from the outside of it and positions itself. And then she says, "Well, good luck. Don't kill her, Nox." And she rings it back again, and the platform begins to ascend.
Gives a really wicked grin and a playful wink.
Again,
Well,
Hilda. I feel like Hilda just kind of steps through his space to be behind him, so he's not in between that.
While we're heading up, I want Hilda to hear descriptions of everyone she's standing next to.
Well, the elevator takes a while, so everyone describe everyone else.
Nox, you go first, since you're the one doing most of the talking.
Uh,
How you look right now.
Okay, so, well, to shortcut this, have you ever watched Seven Deadly Sins?
No.
Damn it!
She.
Okay. I was going to say that was definitely going to be a shortcut, but now I'm not so sure. I'll post a picture of how he looks
Was it Bond?
at present.
I can't remember exactly which one.
Yeah,
Are you posting in general
Strangely-
or sessions?
I will. Any preference?
Anyone's
Eh.
fine.
Because it's relevant.
I'm really the only person who posts in the sessions one.
Well, now you won't feel left out.
Woohoo! Oh, yep, that was Bond.
Uh,
Sexy devil.
So, he's close to 7 foot tall, but his hair is a lot longer. And he's wearing a long black cloak, which basically covers him shoulders down to the floor. You can't see his feet tall, but it is sort of open-chested in a similar sort of fashion.
right.
No armor, no weapons?
Nope, he's never worn armor, and his... Well, okay, he's got a longbow that looks like it's sort of embers from a fire strapped across his back.
You wear no armor? How have you gone this long and not worn armor?
Because I dodge shit and heal.
It's true. This is true.
And stand behind the big guys.
This
Okay.
also
You
true.
have tried. Let's face it, you have tried. But I am the only one of the original team that's still alive.
Running away helps. Just being furthest back.
Yeah, because
Behind him
he's
looking
only got
really
leather armor
suspiciously
basically, but for him
is-
that's like leather trousers.
Mm-hmm. All right,
6
Mason,
foot tall.
go next.
Alright, for Mason, he kind of has a long, kind of like dark trench coats. You see a very unique looking like rapier on his back, and he has kind of like a very Inquisitioner dark brown hat on, and he has like a 5 o'clock shadow and like perpetual like bags underneath his eyes, but he always has like a warm smile on. And that's pretty much Mason.
Crap.
Did you say something?
I just called
did.
you Keck.
Okay, I just heard like pop, and I'm like, what?
I was in the middle of eating,
Okay.
and I'm so glad you did hear that because they totally just called you Keck instead of Fenrir.
No.
I still
Okay.
have to try hard not to do that.
I love how like that's not even my name.
Yes, Keck. Describe
But
yourself
even though
in
I
an
know your
unknown
name,
location,
I've never used it.
millions of miles away.
Okay. Kind of glaring at her is a 6 foot tall, very heavily muscled man in literal rags. He's scarred and has beard and long hair, and he just has like nice great sword and a well decorated longbow that look like they came out of a military, even though he looks like he lives in the woods.
Well, actually, in the session, post a little thing that I did online of what Kelda looks like.
Literally the look she's like, who are you?
She perpetually looks just a little bit tired, and also a little bit fed up, just because she's very suspicious of a lot of things, just
It's very
from like
draining.
life. But she is generally like, it's curiosity, but like, yeah, the cat came back, but it still got killed.
No.
Oh man. Nox is gonna
So
give us
good.
so much trust issues.
Give me one
Oh, no.
second, because I forgot if I named her.
No.
I forgot if I named the Master of Magic. I don't see a name in my notes, so.
Just kind of being blunt, he's gonna be like, why did she send you?
Yeah, I got a vision of these tall people all stood around this halfling like, yeah, why would they send you?
I don't think Mason's that tall. Mason's
3
what,
foot
like
1 woman.
5 foot?
Dangerous to go alone. Here, take a halfling.
Mason would be like 5'10", average height.
Yeah.
That's still nearly 3 foot taller.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to make a point that it's not just giant ass people. Someone normally
It's a little
average
bit much.
sized.
We have a mascot.
She's
Would you call me
3
that?
foot
Oh.
1 and weighs 43 pounds.
Yes.
This is a small woman.
As everyone is introducing themselves, Catface jumps onto your shoulder and says hello
Whose shoulder?
Who is your?
in common.
Who is your?
Your?
There's 4 of us. We're like,
Oh, sorry. I forget.
I just like you just splayed 1 foot on every shoulder.
Yeah, she
That's gonna be
separated herself
never right.
amongst like 8 different people. How do you
Wildly
pronounce her
different
name
heights.
again?
Kelda.
Kelda. She
Yeah.
stands on Kelda's shoulders and says hello in common.
I will. What? You say cat face.
Yep.
Describe cat face, please.
Catface
Cat.
is a cat. Is
Okay.
a tuxedo cat with a
Okay.
little with like a white on like the chest and stomach with like 2 little black dots on its chest next to each other that make it look like a little bow tie.
In that case, Kelda's going to try to hide the fact that she's a little bit confused about a talking cat. Not too much, just a little bit, because she has been around magic for so long. I just kind of give Catface a little scratch under the chin. Just, hello,
He allows it.
aren't you gorgeous?
He allows it.
The now Fenrir like just pans his eyes like from looking directly down on her to looking directly down on him, and it's just like,
Catface
Where
sees
did you
looking
come
and
from?
is like, "What do you want, wet dog?"
"Out! You weren't here when we got on the elevator."
I am always here.
Nox just sort of like shrugs and nods.
Yeah, Kelda's just like giving scritches.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, I'm taking comfort where I can. It's a nice cat. This cat hasn't, attacked me. Given that we are close to the same size.
Catface looks over to Nox and is like, "Oh yeah, I learned a new trick." And Catface disappears and reappears on Nox's shoulders.
Oh, I like it.
Can you do that anywhere?
I'm not gonna do it on you.
I didn't want you
You'll
to
just
do it
eat
on
me.
There's a very stifled giggle from Kelda.
Fenrir is just like, half eyes shut, looking seriously. Never mind.
As you hit...
As you may have gathered from...
Oh, go ahead.
As you may have gathered from the receptionist, my name is Nox. This is Fenrir. This is Mason. And this, he'll sort of scratch the cat's chin, is Morose.
And Kelda kind of reaches her hand up to shake your hand. My name is Kelda. Kelda Bigheart.
His corner of his mouth twitches up slightly, but he shakes your hand.
You said, you mentioned someone named the Cat Lady. I did receive a letter. It was just through my door with vague instructions.
Definitely
I've
from
never
her.
met someone called the Cat Lady.
She's one of an old race of people. They
They still
keep an
send
eye on
letters.
things. Still send letters.
Alright. As you reach the 400th floor, as you pass that little marker, the walls, you go into this cylinder of wall, and you ascend just a little further, and then it stops, and a section in the front goes down to floor level. And there is now a hallway in front of you.
I go down the hallway.
We're still weirded out by moving walls, but he'll follow.
The walls didn't move, you just went into the cylinder.
The walls
What's,
move you.
Ox is now the one looking suspicious. He's like, sort of like glancing around, looking for changes and differences.
You haven't seen any changes or differences yet.
Well, Mason's just kind of humming a small little tune, just kind of enjoying everything. Even though you can definitely tell, like, this isn't his element, but he's enjoying the sights.
As you enter and go into the main chamber, it is this big circular room with smaller rooms along the back wall in an arch, there are a total of, let me count really quickly.
It was 6 or 7.
6. No, 7. There are 7 of them going all around. And, Nox, this is where you see the different changes. Whereas the
I was expecting
environments
to see something.
have changed, there are no longer the orbs within them. As well as the one that has not changed, Dark, is still sealed up and is still as pitch black as ever.
Kind of shoots it a suspicious look, like he's just like checking over that it is still sealed.
Mm-hmm. Other than that, you see the Master of Magic at her desk. She is writing along. In each of the chambers where there used to be an orb, as Nox would remember, she now has different things. So, she has kind of like a window set up where she can open it every now and again for a nice breeze to go through. Fire, she has placed a stove and a like cooking area within it and slightly coming out of it. Water, as you would remember, is more like a beach-like environment, and she has like a lawn chair set up so that she can chill with the beach vibes. Light, the light has kind of been repositioned by mirrors to illuminate and light up the entirety of the room. Earth has a bunch of metal and stuff that kind of just there for decoration. And we've already described darkness. And then Mystic, which is the last part, which encompasses all the weird stuff that doesn't normally fall into those elements, is also caged up and is just as weird as you remember it.
Yeah, that was an odd one.
Completely oblivious, or not oblivious, but not really caring about whatever is going on with the other people around her. Kelda will step forward and kind of take out the locket from her pocket. It's a fun sentence to say.
She sticks a hand up and she's like, let me just finish really quickly. She finishes, and out of nowhere, the mailman comes from behind all of you. And she goes, "Ah, yes.
Nox gives him like full-on evils.
Would you please deliver this letter?" And he goes, "Right away, sir." "Oh, hi, Nox."
It's like the kid from Newsies.
Like,
And
Nox doesn't
he-
say a word. His eyes just narrow and just follow him across the room.
And he jumps up and disappears.
Can everyone do that now?
No, just him.
He is not natural.
Oh, that's the least of your worries, Nox. I should have you killed.
Well, it can't be high on your priority list, or you'd have done it by now.
Oh, it's pretty high up there. You know, killing Yen Sidric and all. Bringing down the library.
Nox would sort of narrow his eyes and look at her and say, just how much about that do you really know?
How much
Where is
about who?
About that.
The whole situation with Yen Sidric.
I thought I heard her and I went, who? I know a great deal, but obviously there are holes that I wish to be filled in. She narrows her eyes at you.
I'm sure you do, but there are reasons Jan Sidric kept a lot of things close to his chest.
Yes. Now, why are you here?
Kelda will step forward. So, excuse me, ma'am. I was told to give this to you by someone known as the Cat Lady. I don't know what they're here for.
She takes out a wand. She flicks it, and the locket comes out of her hand and levitates in front of her wand and says, "The cat lady gave this to you."
She sent it to me. I never actually met her in person.
How can you be so sure it was the cat lady?
Don't
Oh, it's
know
her
who
writing.
the Cat Lady was. Kelda's just like very much like, yeah, I feel a little bit like I've been sent kind of like as an errand girl, but it's like, yeah, whatever.
She
This is just-
she has the locket lying on the desk, and she puts her wand away. And she goes, Well, Nox, since you are vouching for her, I will lump you in with the rest of them. Nox, why are you here?
We literally went to have tea with the cat lady and she told us to seek you out.
Why would she have you seek me out? I'd rather have your head on a pike.
Believe the university has more pressing concerns. And he would raise an eyebrow. And sort of cross his arms across his chest.
She snaps her fingers, and a brick wall cuts off the exit. And she goes, well, at least no one can get to us here.
Nira reacts with the battle stance, but doesn't do much else.
Yeah, Nox doesn't even flinch.
There is no battle stance that she takes. She simply...
No, I'm telling you, Fenrir reacts by clearly, standing into...
Alert.
Yeah.
Do you turn?
To what?
Half or full, or none at all?
No.
No? Okay.
Jumping. He said something about telling you what happened, sharing information.
I wish to not have prying eyes nor ears listening in. Very well, Nox. If you wish to gain yourself a pardon, I guess you can do me one small favor.
Just raises an eyebrow. Again.
Within Administrative City, there are 2 demons controlling everything. Kill them, and you'll be free.
Oh, easy. Where are they?
Not so
we've already
fast.
taken one down.
These ones are tricky. They do not appear in public. They do not appear in private. Somehow, they are getting their way without even meeting with the headmaster.
And we were told that this would have to be a lot more subtle than our last one.
Yes. If the public gets wind of anything that happens, I will murder you on the spot.
She gonna follow us around?
So if
Fenrir.
I...
Do you want to know why Nox checked the dark room first, out of all the other rooms when he entered, to make sure it was still sealed?
Alright.
Nox, do you want to react to that?
He rolls his eyes and crosses his arms.
She looks baffled at you and looks over to Nox and is like, are you surrounded by idiots?
Kelda looks very offended, not only to be like called an idiot, but kind of to be like immediately associated with these people she's just met.
Nox replies in half by saying, well, I can't speak for all of them.
But you can for this one.
Magic is foreign to him. As is
Ah.
many things.
Well then, Fenrir. Let me tell you what is behind that door. Death. You cross the glass, well, barrier, and you will instantly be killed.
So, you reacted to the big thing in the room?
It feeds on life and turns it into naught.
Why do you have it?
I didn't necessarily want it. She looks like dead shot at you, Nox. Like, why don't you
Hey.
explain why it's here?
Nox sort of like puts up his hand and like mock surrender and says, I do believe that I did not put it here either. Thank you. That was your former post holder.
That is true, but nobody knows why. You're the only one who is close with him to understand why.
There are some things
I think the
am
death
not
person said you
at
killed.
liberty to say. You have to earn my trust as well.
Fine then. Do this and we'll find out what we find out.
A history check just to see if I know what they're talking about, having lived here for a while.
I love how
Go ahead.
like Kelda's so polite to her and Nox is just so antagonistic. Like just treats her like a nuisance.
That's a 17.
So, shortly after you and your, how should I put this, companion came to the university, the sky fell, aka the library, and the head of magic was killed.
He died.
Well, yes, he
Pretty sure
died.
not every story would say that he
Specific.
was killed.
Everywhere
Yeah.
else believes he was killed, but it necessarily fact they're the same definition. Not alive
His
anymore.
nature and what's happening to the others. Died is more accurate.
Okay.
I would say he got killed.
I mean, he definitely got killed, but not the point.
Definitely got killed. So, yeah, he got killed.
No one else who was
And
in the
died.
room is alive to know that.
And yeah, Nox is the only person around who knows anything, as he was in the forefront of making it so that the library did not crush anything.
Okay. And would I know that about him? That he was involved?
You know that there was like a footnote saying that Nox was involved, but like no greater detail.
Okay.
He did something.
Yes.
Who knows what?
Like low-key.
There was a guy
famous.
called Knox there on that day. He was somewhat involved somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I want more history books like that.
Ward of the Dryads.
Yeah, she just kind of like inches a little bit away because she's like, I'm not sure about this, but okay.
This is the Battle of Collier Hill. There was someone named Jake here. Moving
Something
on.
happened.
Okay.
Yeah, low-key famous for all the wrong reasons.
Yep. Oh. She
And
snapped her
even
fingers,
though
yeah.
it's
And the door.
wrong
and the-
assumptions, he's not the type to care what people think enough to put them right.
Oh, because I didn't say it when we were doing descriptions. Kelda is very obviously wearing a wedding ring.
It's cute.
Okay. The brick door opens that she closed before, and she goes, "All right, all of you out. It's been a long day."
Sorry, I was told that I would have some kind of explanation on why I'm here.
Oh.
Yeah, so
you're
far
here
it's
to
just
join
been an
them.
argument.
Oh, okay.
They can fill you in on all the other stuff. The cat lady wouldn't even tell me what was happening.
Nox would glance back at the door and then glance back towards the head of magic and just say as vaguely as he can, now that the ward's back down, what exactly have you been doing to remedy this situation?
Which situation? I kind of got a
He
lot of situations
literally
in my
face
lap.
palms.
All the
Here.
demons, especially the ones here.
Oh, with demons? I've been trying to undermine them at any step I can, so far with no success. If I go out publicly and do so, I will be replaced instantly.
Any clues at all for where they are? Or like?
The only clue I have is that they are underground. Literally or figuratively, I do not know. But that is the only thing people will ever tell me, those hidden in the shadow, is that they are underground.
Kelda will just kind of chime in. It's like, are you aware of any kind of name they go by? Or a reference to by?
One goes by the squid. The other goes by the bull. Other than that, I have no clue.
Would I recognize those names?
Nope.
Okay.
That's just bull squid.
That was terrible.
And I'm still proud.
You're still pro? What?
Proud.
Oh, proud. I think you said prone. I was like, wait, what did I make you
He's
prone?
got
It
the
wasn't.
wrong
Yeah.
full
Okay.
time.
I mean, maybe it was bad enough to knock me prone, but yeah.
Anyways.
Nox sort of like shrugs and just says, "Well, I guess we will speak again soon."
Not until it's over. I have an appointment. Please go.
It's really as useful as you plan to be in all this.
Yes. Murderer.
Oh, we can make sure the headmaster knows that when this is through. He just winks at her and turns and walks.
The headmaster is under their spell. He won't even listen to anything you have to say about me.
But then he just looks back over his shoulder and says, "Until it's through."
Hilda's wandered off at this point. She has been dismissed too many times in a row for her to stick around and just headed back.
I'm sorry, Nox. Repeat that one more time.
He looked back over his shoulder and literally, word for word, repeated what she said. Not until it's through.
So you're saying he is alive, then?
Huh? Where'd that come from?
Just kidding.
Headmaster's alive, isn't he?
Mhm.
Otherwise, how would he be under the demon's spell? Off table.
She was saying, "Oh, so Yen Sidric is alive then?" As a
When
response
did Yen
to,
Sidric come into the conversation?
because she called you a murderer for killing Yen Sidric. You said not until it's through.
Oh, no. She said the headmaster would not listen to anything that we said because he
Oh.
was under the demon's spell, and then she just slung
I'm-
murderer as an insult.
I'm
He wasn't.
dumb.
He was referring to that.
Okay, I'm dumb. Ignore me. Never mind. Never mind. We'll just strike that from the record. Striketh from the
Sure,
record.
Follow Kelda.
Anyways, y'all leave.
So yeah, Nox was referring to the fact that once all this is through and the headmaster's no longer under the spell, then he will listen.
Y'all go down the elevator.
Oh, wait, you got a letter and nothing else?
I technically I got 2 letters and a locket. They were just all in the same envelope.
Hey, did you give her the locket?
The locket
Yeah.
is gone.
Yes, she did give her the locket.
I missed it.
It was like first thing. She really explains nothing, does she?
I miss Yen Sidric. That one was useful.
And you, I never took you for a murderer.
How many things have we killed in the time we've been traveling together?
Well, Knox, I more want to know, was it more out of self-defense or, I mean, we've adventured for a while. I would say you would usually have a reason to kill somebody, so.
It was
Mason,
not the defense of myself, but the defense of the many.
I need to reverse a little bit before you guys leave. Mason, will you please make me a perception check whilst you're still in the office?
Here. 27.
You see,
Damn.
as you're kind of looking around the room, mainly focused on the conversation, your eyes land on the dark room. And
That's
you
dark.
see an insurmountable amount of spirits and ghosts within that room.
Yeah, Mason will keep that to himself for a little bit.
Alright, fast forwarding back to when you guys are now descending down the elevator.
Oh,
yeah,
Find this demon.
Knox, you said, like, you had your reason. I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Wasn't defense of myself, but the defense of the many. I had a misguided idea of how to save everything, but it would have genocide.
Now, see, I think that's pretty reasonable. Pretty reasonable. I think we need to iron out a few more details. But I'll be honest with some of the accusations she was kind of throwing your way. I think she was very kind of closed-minded, so I think I'm gonna take your word a little bit over hers.
Why was that not worth
Yen,
mentioning to her?
there are many things many people do not know about Yen Sidric. Over time I may tell you, but for now, know that his knowledge of magic and the way things work in this world far surpass anything she could possibly know. Especially at her age. So, there'd be no point trying to explain them to her. She would jump to conclusions, she already thinks I'm in the wrong. Anything I say would just twist her opinion.
How
I
old
need
was
to
Yen
demonstrate.
Sidric again?
Huh?
Catface kind of interjects. How old was Yen Sidric again?
Oh, it was Yen Sidric.
Was
How long's the
dying.
university been around?
At this point, about like 90 years.
He was dying age for a dragon. He was getting old, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he
I
was many
think
hundreds
he
of years
was,
old, surely.
like, by the time I think he passed, he would have been around 500.
Yeah. Yeah, because he
Older
was
than
like
most elves.
elder.
But she
So yeah,
looks
Nox would just say
nowhere
hundreds of years.
near hundreds of years old. I wonder if she'll live as long.
What are you saying? He's not of the same ilk as Yen, surely.
I don't know. I get a strange vibe from her. Not like
I'll
a
have to keep an eye.
dragon-y vibe. Just a vibe.
Zelda just kind of pipes up from, down there. Like, so, explanation of any kind?
Oh, Yen Sidric was a dragon. He founded the university.
He helped found the university. Gonna
It
a
was
DM correction
his
there.
idea.
He helped found it with the current headmaster, who's also.
I don't think that was the main question.
I meant, what am I doing here? But, okay.
And I guess a new god sent you a letter for some reason. Asked for your aid to. I don't know
Right the
what
wrongs of
exactly,
this
but
university.
we're hoping to kill the demons that are trying to summon an army to this world. Did she say anything about that?
No. She said we'd be discussing my future if her house was there, and if not, to open the other letter. And the other letter said to go to the head of magic, who would explain. So,
Well,
I
I
do
think
have an
we're
explanation.
supposed to be filling in the blanks.
Basically, if we don't kill the two demons who have taken hold of the university's leadership, there is no future. So, yes, it really does concern not just your future, but everyone's. If you are interested in keeping that on track, then I suggest you stick around.
Fair. Will do. She's a little bewildered, but willing to go along just because things have kind of stalled on her end. So going forward, any kind of going forward is movement enough.
Fenrir is also
Yeah.
bewildered. Like,
Oh, Nox.
how do we know that the woman even wanted her to fight? Or that we agree?
Well, there's nothing to say that it's combat that she was led to us for. She may have other skills.
Oh, wealth of information at my fingertips, given the need.
Who knows? As you are riding the elevator stops on the 100th floor and lowers the banister.
Ox would just say to the others, discuss nothing that was spoken of between now and when we first set foot on this elevator past this point, unless you know we will not be overheard.
Hilda kind of nods, and now that I have the names that these demons are going under, can I kind of send feelers out through my contacts to see if I can get any kind of information?
Yes, you can. How are you going to send these feelers out?
Like, I feel like after years in, this place, she kind of has a system when she needs to get information. So it's kind of like a note left in one place leads to, like, or handed off.
Do you send any
sleight
letters?
of hand kind of ways. Yeah, that kind of, like, passing someone in the street that is like one of my contacts kind of thing with
Out from
and like
behind
sleight of
Nox.
handing.
Hi, Nox.
Don't you dare! No.
You had
Trying
a
to
letter
avoid
for
the
me,
knee-jerk
miss?
reaction of just elbowing him in the face.
He fully takes it, no reaction at all, not even acknowledging it. It doesn't even like move him an inch.
Like, fully collects and he doesn't even flinch.
Did you know people here?
Kelda doesn't really flinch at his appearance and kind of just like, all right, I need this sent off to a friend of mine, and kind of taps the side of her nose knowingly, gives him a wink.
He grabs it and he's like, I know.
Messages and says, yeah, can you send copies of that to these people?
Got it. And he jumps and disappears.
Very
So
suspicious
useful,
looks
Batman.
coming your way.
So useful.
So unnatural.
Wait, do you know how to find them?
May, possibly.
Honestly, this is a new nation for me. I would have just been sniffing around on my own.
He means that literally.
Yeah, for
I don't like to
me,
look at you.
No one's brought
have
up
usually
the
objects.
question.
Oh, does this place have anything underground?
Well, it has the... I don't think the railway goes underground in many places. I think most of the rogues' school is underground in the south, but other than that, I don't believe so. I've not spent much time in the south of this island.
Lovely when you spend some time there.
Nox
Difficult
like
to get around.
refocuses. You are familiar.
Somewhat. I'm not a student, but I've spent some time there.
Do you know of
Now his eyes
underground
would
toilets?
narrow. Like, Seriously. But it's not. It's a mixture of suspicion and curiosity. No one who's not a student or a teacher gets through that.
She kind of like smiles, kind of like she's she's really playing it off. She's like, oh yeah, it's just a thing. She just smiles, gives you a wink, and doesn't say anything further.
Do you
Nox
know of
suddenly
any
sort of
underground to this
relaxes.
nation?
Huh?
Do you know of any underground to this nation?
Depends on the kind of underground you mean.
Nox just relaxes and grins for a minute and goes, I see why the cat lady sent you.
What? Why?
She would have liked her.
Oh no.
I kind of wanted to learn secrets.
You can't spill everything straight away. Come
Not,
on.
you
They
know
have
that she
to
likes
want
to
to
do
know.
that though. When meeting people,
Okay.
you know that Nox, and Catface is like poking you with his with his paw.
You heard her as much as me. Looking for an underground, physical or not. Better to start somewhere than nowhere.
I mean, the rogue school would be considered underground. Certainly under the radar. But I thought she specifically mentioned the location where these people stay. She say it was in the Citadel,
Administrative city.
which is to the north, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I missed
Nox
that.
would then look at Kelder and say, do you know of any way that the administrative city is connected underground to any of the other schools?
Would I?
If you want to kindly look at your map, the subway goes everywhere.
I thought that was an overground train.
So, in some places it does go overground. Like if it's going to the Magic Unity or the spell training, it'll be underground for a bit and then go above ground and finish when it gets out of the city, and then go straight over there. Also, from Dryad Grove to the Dryad Forest is kind of like a suspended cable car going across. But for the majority of it, like sometimes it'll go up to show like some nice scenery and stuff like that, but majority of it is underground.
Well, if we have an idea of where they are, why don't we start looking? At least until we get more information.
I wonder if there are any disused tunnels of those down there. From original
When you
lines that
hear
never lasted.
disused tunnels, Calda, you instantly remember the fact of your companion telling you there are underground tunnels everywhere that we are allowed to traverse as being within the classes, but you cannot tell anyone.
Right.
Go look. Just
Does
see
it
if
say
there are.
anything?
Just go.
Yeah,
Just go check. While her informants spawned.
Yeah, it pops into her head, and it just, brief look of recognition, and says nothing.
Given the nature of what we're dealing with here, I'm beginning to think it may be best if we stay off radar. I'm aware you probably have accommodation within the university grounds somewhere, but it may be best if we stay within the Dryad's forest.
We can't simply wait around until information presents itself.
No, but we need safe places to retire where we can freely discuss what's going on, without fear of being overheard and that mailman appearing constantly.
All right.
Alright, so do you guys go up to Administrative City for Admin City, or do you go to the Dryad's Forest first?
I mean, I have to admit that going up straight to the administrative city from the Mistress of Magic's office isn't the most subtle move. If we're trying to play low-key.
And I'll believe you and take a little roundabout path.
Nox should probably head to the Dryad's Forest and set up his hut, knowing full well that he could basically leave it up in his grove.
Alright, so as you go, I'm going to skip forward a bit. You all go in, and you all go. Kelda, this is the first time you've ever been in this forest. It is birds chirping and everything's all nice. You pass by one of the dryads, and the dryads kind of side-eye you, and are kind of more warm towards Nox over than anyone else. As you get to the grove, you can see that, yes, someone did live here at some point. And then you see Nox bring out a tiny wooden house, take out a small dagger, and cut himself. And the house begins to grow.
Doesn't faze her.
Please roll me that 1d10. Right? It was d10, right?
Get the right tab. That didn't roll, did it?
No.
Come on. Clickety click.
Clickety click, click, click.
It's not working.
Refresh the browser, maybe?
Yeah, hang on.
Looking at a map on the train, Inra's just gonna point and be like, "What's the Wolfell?"
5.
What's the what?
Wolfell?
Now I'm confused.
The little town that's on a red line instead of a blue line?
Oh, it's just a small town. A small village.
Alright. So now that we're privacy.
Mm-hmm. But the Dryad's Forest is also pretty private, especially with the hut now set up.
That's what I meant. Can we search for tunnels near the admin city?
Maybe worth asking the Dryads if they know of any entrances to old tunnels through here, through the route network.
You think the Dryads leave this forest?
Well, no, but they very carefully monitor any traffic through it, around it, or I would imagine under it.
Alright.
As you all, I assume you're all in the house discussing this, right?
Yeah.
Noct, do you want to
Kelda's gonna-
describe the house to Kelda?
Sure.
Your phallic-shaped house.
It's not phallic. We didn't build the extension yet.
Now, Philippe.
That's a whole other story. So basically, when... Oh god, it's going to sound terrible. When he pulls it out, it looks just like a tiny hand-carved, intricately detailed, but hand-carved little house. And he sets it on the ground and everything. And once he's done the magic, it grows to full size. And the layout of it is, you've got a door right in front of you, which goes into a narrow corridor leading left to right. To the right, you've got one round room that is full of hammocks and like sort of cot beds, all very rustic style, and all strung at different levels across this like small round room. And then to the other side, you've got another round room off to the left, which has got a fire pit in the middle and various seating cushions around it. And in the hallway, as you step in, everything around it is just like weapon racks, and it's all like wooden weapons and some metal weapons that have been carefully made and stored in there. And in the doorway up to the right, there's a pull-up bar. Stored for someone once upon a time.
And I assume everything is built to your height.
Yes, it's a giant
The
house.
pull-up bar is not, though.
So that's lower down.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, then you would
The pull-up
expect
bar
someone
is built to
70
somebody
feet.
else's height.
Like, he
I
has
feel
to
like-
noticeably duck underneath it, but he never seems to complain about it.
I feel like Kelder just kind of sits down somewhere and just is very quietly observing everyone, just watching how everyone interacts, because, like, very interesting to her.
And imagine if your friend that you didn't even know just thrusted you into a group of strangers.
Yeah. He just kind
Isn't
of,
that how D&D works?
yeah. A friend that you didn't even know thrust you into a group of strangers. Yeah, that's how it works.
Honestly, I feel like you could get a letter and it would just be like, hey, there's an event going on this weekend. And you'd be like, oh, this is a calling. I'm supposed to meet my new party.
It's literally, hey, there's a thing, do the thing.
Okay.
How would you like to do the thing? Work it out. So she's just kind of observing everyone. Not necessarily on like a seat, but maybe on like a side table or something, and she's just kind of swinging her legs after scrambling up there.
If we're going to search near the admin city, should we take a less obvious route there? Do you think it will be worth our time to just do the quickest way?
Depends on what information we find.
I would imagine it is not an investigation we have to rush if the Mistress of Magic has not been able to do anything so far. I think if we go too fast, it will draw attention. They are comfortable at the moment, knowing that they have
Very
gone
well hidden.
unnoticed, or at least they think they have.
If all the head of magic has is two names that they are referred to, they're very comfortable indeed.
This Mistress of Magic, is too big to simply walk someplace and spend all our time on one topic. We can go there and search all day. One will question where we are. Unless they are watching us already.
You may have noticed, but I get a little bit of attention in this place.
Actually, you get a little more attention to people who know who you are. Other people don't seem to regard you because you are still disguised.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Before I left this place, I wasn't.
As halfling, we are a group of totally normal humans.
100%.
Do you want to roll a perception check for that, or an insight?
Yeah, absolutely.
We are all
That
very
is
much
better.
human, yes, of course.
Yeah, I'll roll insight on that. That's better.
If you roll really high, we each have to pick something that you
14.
notice about our
Everyone
characters.
It's a 14.
Fenrir and Nox, please roll me deception. I mean, Mason's mostly normal, so I mean, that's kind of true for him.
I have a minus.
Yeah, he doesn't
one
really
perception,
have
so this
much
is
So-
hilarious.
besides that one
My
thing.
passive insight is actually higher than what I rolled. So would that affect any of this?
I would
I
argue
get
that we should
advantage
use
'cause I've
How's
got
it
passive
the
gonna
crystal
affect
perception.
on.
things in my own head?
I would argue we should use passive deception rather than the other way, because actively looking. We're not
What is
actively
your passive
deceiving.
deception?
9.
Sure, we'll use that one then.
What your
Since
passive
you're the one who
perception
brought
is.
it up.
Yeah.
They are not average at all. They are hiding something.
That's all you get.
Yeah, she just kind
I
of
mean, it's just words, so
The
I can't really
audacity, they're
rolls her
hiding
eyes
something.
a little
do
bit.
much.
Just rolls her eyes a little. It's like, yes, I'm very normal myself.
Reaction.
Reaction?
Response. Reaction.
Yeah, Mason will also kind of just roll his eyes at the whole mentioning of that. Like,
And what's your passive perception, Kelsa?
Uh,
Kelda?
Perception is 11. I've got, passive perception,
Oh
investigation,
wow,
and
insightful but
insight.
blind.
Yeah. Alright.
Nox's passive perception and insight are both 18.
Passive perception is 11, passive investigation is a 12, and my passive insight is a 15.
The creator has 32 on each stat, so there you go.
passive
wait, wait.
investigation
He
is
sees
20 for
everything.
Mason.
You don't think we should go search for these tunnels? They are the ones that can sit and wait. We are not.
So I was under the impression we had travelled for a long time, just arrived back into Central, and gone and spoken to the face.
We went to bed,
You went to
woke
bed.
up,
Yeah.
and then
You
basically
Oh,
slept
immediately went
in
to
the
bed.
Dryad's Forest.
It's like
So this is like your second day here.
Oh, okay, so it's actually fairly early.
Yeah, I would say about by this point, it's like just about noon.
So, yeah, I guess it would be worth heading out and doing some investigation, but I would be interested to speak to the Dryads. He expects that they would already know something wasn't right. And
Alright.
given the recent blessing, assumes that they would be somewhat willing to share information.
So we will talk to the Dryads first and then plot our course from there.
As you open the door, a Dryad is standing in several feet away from the door. Hello, Fenrir.
I mean, that's less creepy than the mailman, but it's still a little worrying.
Is Nox here?
Yes.
Can you please fetch him for me?
He'll just look at him.
Who are
It
you
did not
talking
occur to
to?
him that it might be ever not give information. So I presume you heard it's not exactly a big house.
Yeah, but the Dryad was several feet away.
Yeah. It's not like right out the doorway.
All I'd have heard you say was yes.
Okay. He'll look at it, it's like, Nox, come here.
Yeah, get up and go over a little perplexed.
As you go to the to the doorway, the Dryad is standing there in the field, in front of the house. Hello, Nox.
Oh. I was just coming to see you.
We are aware.
I've been away a while. I forget how you can do that.
Yes, we know everything that happens in this forest, as you might remember. And as you might also remember, can you please make me... Oh, what was the saving throw for that spell again? I think it was strength.
What?
Good God, what
Are
they
you
gonna
like
do to me?
shooting wind at us?
No, it was for entangle.
I
think it was...
think it's a dex save to dodge, but then strength to break out.
Okay, so dodge. So,
let me have a look. I can
dex.
tell you in just a second.
Yeah, I know you would have it. I don't have it on this character.
I don't have it active, but I know I can find it quick enough.
Is that really not a wizard
Here we
spell?
go.
Oh, it's like
no,
it's
a
like a
straight
cleric
up
and
druid spell.
Oh, yeah. Well, I tried.
So it's 20 foot square from a point in range. Duration. Creature in the area when you cast a spell will succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained. Yeah, so it's strength straight up.
So it is strength. Okay.
You
Please roll me a
swine.
strength saving throw, please.
Everyone or just...
So imagine that the Dryads have a lot more control over it than most.
I mean, like, still a question. Everyone or just Nox?
Just Nox.
Okay.
19. Chew on that.
Fail.
I mean, the fact that you said you will also remember, so he
she
knew this was
kind of-
coming.
She looks at you and glides ever so quickly up to your face and says, "We do not appreciate the use of blood magic within our forest."
It was minor, unoffensive, and unharmful to any.
It is still deadly, dangerous, and not welcome.
You won't want me to put the house away then.
It is fine for now.
Take it there was another reason for your visit.
There was. She lightens her attitude significantly. And she goes, "There was. We heard you all whispering about tunnels underneath the Dryad's forest."
We
Am I
believe there
that
must be
loud?
some network, other than those used for the tramway. And we suspect that they're not being used as you would appreciate.
So, fortunately for us, I assume at this point you let her in. And you guys are talking freely within the
I
bonfire
didn't
room.
think she'd have wanted to come in.
You're just indifferent to it.
Welcome to my blood house.
She doesn't appreciate the use of the magic. She doesn't care about the house because it's not actually.
I'm sure she'll appreciate the craftsmanship.
She does appreciate the craftsmanship. She looks around and she's like, "Oh wow, you hand carved this yourself. Very nice."
I'm now imagining someone walking into your house and being like, "Wow, you made this, didn't you?"
Love what you've done with the place.
No, the other way. I can tell that you made it.
Oh, shade.
No, she's
This
not
is
like
very
that.
you.
So she stands kind of in the archway of the bonfire room. You can see she never really touches the ground. She never ever like touched the ground really. And she goes on it to say, there aren't any under the Dryad's forest. However, there is one that ever so slightly clips our forest. There are a network of tunnels underneath the university. Old mining tunnels. Most of them originate from the forges over where the forges are and where the blacksmiths and artificers are mainly. There is some tunnels coming from the sneak classrooms, but those tend to link up with the tramways and the subway systems.
Elder?
Those sound like
Nothing.
underground to me.
You would say that, my dear. After all, we did watch you fail a couple of times every now and again to get into your class. We don't only control this part of the forest, but the forest surrounding the sneaking classrooms are our domain as well.
Do any of the tunnels approach the admin?
Quite a few of them. There is one main mining tunnel that does. Other than that, it's one from the sneaking classrooms, which is another tram line.
We're just gonna look towards the others and just be like, why don't we search that mining tunnel first? If it goes near the forest, then perhaps we could even walk without drawing any attention.
Would you permit us to enter and exit through that where it passes close?
Oh, it passes directly through. We are also in control of the forest surrounding the admin city. We control all the forests within the university. And to answer your question, Nox, you have always been allowed to pass through each and every one of you.
I had no idea they were that until now.
Well, we dryads tend to conjugate over here, where our main presence is known.
Hey, Uller, I think we know where we're going. Seems actually kind of happy for once.
Catface looks over to you and goes, "Oh, wagging your tail."
We're detecting elevated levels of sass.
Maybe. Anyways, I must go and attend to a class that is about to start. I bid you all adieu. And she leaves.
Thank you for the information.
She also teleport.
Nope, she just glides.
Just hops and gone.
No, I pictured her just walking into a tree. Just like,
No, that would have been Keg.
Would have totally
or
been
successfully walking into a tree.
Walking into a tree on purpose.
And actually going in.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's a bit different.
She disappears into like a clump of trees.
Alright. You are still nearly our stranger. Do you wish to aid?
What was that? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, you're fair. You are still nearly our stranger. Will you aid?
Happy to help. And she kind of hops down from where she was. Dusts off her, dusts herself off. And just kind of waits for someone else to lead the way.
Yeah, I
Alright,
suppose.
well, to avoid the trains, you might want to brace yourself. This will be quite the walk.
I'm sorry I got distracted. Kenka updated the location tabs, so now you can see all the images first. I got very distracted for a minute because I was looking for some information that I thought I wrote down in this, and I opened it up, and there are now tiles with each individual location, and I went, ooh, interesting. That's new and different. Yeah, I do like it. I didn't end up writing it down, so.
Okay. Do we
Is
want to
what
stop
it
there?
is.
Or continue?
Let's continue a little bit. So we were going to the forges.
And walking to enter from from the forest side.
Yeah, so we want to establish where the entrance to the tunnels is in relation to Nox's Grove, or where it intersects so we could get into it.
So, if you remember the conversation I had beforehand, if you look at the map, they control the 3 different forests that are within the university. They are separated.
Mm-hmm.
The one by the university city is the one that she was talking about, that connects to the forges and goes to Admin City. That one goes through that top forest, which they control. You guys are all the way down towards the Dryad classes. And a little
Do we
alcove by a river.
You want to take the train there? Oh yeah, Dryad could just teleport us there, right?
Yeah, because to walk it would be like days and days and days and days, weeks.
Oh yeah, it would be about a week to walk it.
Okay, so we gotta
No one likes that
train
much
to the
cardio.
forge and then walk into the forest, and that's still pretty. No. discreet. Just going to the forge and spending time there.
So, and the other one would go south.
So we're gonna take train to the forge and then walking to the woods.
I'm happy with that.
So we're not trying to get into the disused underground from here.
We're trying to get into the underground that connects to the admin city, and the ones that seem to really do that on a reliable basis connect to the forge. And in order to not just take a train to admin city and start looking around suspiciously, we'll go to the place that it connects to.
I was going to say, because the whole time I was talking to the Dryad, I was on about the disused tunnels.
Yeah, that's what she was talking about. Mine shafts that were never that were unused.
Between the forge and admin.
Yeah, so initially...
She also mentioned the secret train lines that the sneaking classes are able to access.
Yeah, but those are really far away, so that's why.
Yeah,
Fenrir
and they
wasn't
kind
very-
of run just like underneath all of the train lines that are existing anyways. So it wouldn't really...
Oh, I see. First class, is
matter.
it? It's business class, but in a whole other level.
I do just want to get like confirmation. So
Wink,
we're good
nudge,
going
business
to the
class.
forge, right?
I guess so.
Okay. Sounds like people are good with that. We're taking the train to the forge and then walking into the woods to find this underground.
Alright, skipping forward a little section, you go, boop, boop. Sorry. You go over to the forges, and when you enter the forges, you see just as you exit, every chimney is pluming smoke. Every chimney that you can see is pluming dark, black smoke, just going out and out and out.
Nox is visibly unhappy.
It smells of soot and dust and fire, and you can hear the clanging of metal against metal, people forging items, people doing all sorts of things. And as you exit the train and you exit the train station, Nox, you see a familiar face.
Better not be the mailman.
The Keck.
It's the Dryad.
Oh, Nox, I haven't seen you in a while. How's your disguise going? I see you're wearing it.
Oh, Christ, blast from the past.
That's his name too.
Wow, Christ, that's like a year ago.
Yeah.
Totally doing that thing that people do where they're like, oh, hi, yeah, I haven't seen you in ages, cannot remember your name, but just not gonna say it.
It's going great. Did you have to adjust anything on the crystal? Do we need to adjust anything? Is everything going good?
I mean, it would be nice if it was a little more inclusive, and he sort of like gestures down to like where his feet and that would be, but obviously he's wearing the robe.
Oh,
but
yeah,
it served
sorry.
itself. It served itself very well and got me through a lot of tricky situations.
That's
So I appreciate it.
fantastic. I'm glad it's working so well. Ever since your order, I've been busy with so many others.
That would get a real quizzical look from him.
Oh, don't worry. Oh, yeah. The mob came the other day. They were looking
Raise
for
eyebrow.
the gem.
He literally just starts laughing. Yeah, I suppose it was only a matter of time until they tracked it to here.
Yeah,
No
Chiming
damage
in.
done, I hope.
Would this be anything I knew about? You mentioned the mob.
Shady business on the business line.
Would
shady
this
are
be? Actually, you would. You would know of a certain heist. You wouldn't know any particulars as to any people or anything, but you would know of a certain heist carried out within York City, within the auction hall, with a very valuable gem. One, like, very rare, one of a kind types of gems. There were like 4 of them in total.
Heist is being very generous.
And
considering that nothing was stolen.
2 of them went completely missing. And the mob has been searching after them ever since.
All of them were bought fairly.
Just
Sure.
a mob or
The mob.
The mob. The mob of York City. Like, the mob that
Right, so-
controls the town.
Is this your mob
Right.
or another mob? We have confirmation, people.
Make me a deception roll really quickly as you start to freak out.
yeah.
Nox has just stood there, like,
24.
giving you such an
Okay, you're
intense
good.
look that
24.
you're just crumbling.
We good.
That's a 24.
We good. We good.
Oh, damn, she's good at the shady shit.
I'm not good
Alright,
at
Shady McGee,
well,
what
I'm
you got?
very, very good at lying. I'm not good
Character
at
is
finding out the
good.
truth.
Player is maybe not so much.
That just makes it so much better.
Yeah.
It's like, I know it, but I can't say anything.
So yeah, that's a 24 in deception as I'm like, oh, this is something I know about and something I'm interested in.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Nox, you were laughing?
Wait, so
Yeah, he was just laughing because at the mention of the mob coming looking for the gems.
they
'Cause
weren't
it was
stolen.
just like an awkward memory.
If
Like,
I
I wanna-
remember correctly, there was promise of payment, and that
It was a
never
definite-
happened.
Yeah,
There's a
there was.
definite hustle involved.
There
Yeah,
was a bit of a
but-
hustle involved, but if I remember correctly, and
We were on
good
a
thing this
budget.
is in this notebook.
We didn't. But like the biggest thing is we didn't steal them from the auction because they were just
No.
bought from the auction. We made a deal with the person who bought them.
Mm-hmm.
And then skedaddled.
Yeah,
So-
and there was a
So it's
promise
almost so like
of
yeah.
payment.
they didn't disappear. He gave them up in a price to people who he knew that who they were.
Yes. So
And it wasn't the auction that did that. It was one person.
yeah. But there was promise of payment that never happened, and now they're sending the mob after you all.
I don't even remember the payment that was supposed to happen.
I have
remember
it
that,
written
like-
down as promise of payment.
There was collateral that was also done of like.
There was some collateral, but I guess the collateral's not useful anymore.
Yeah,
Not
that was.
in it.
Yeah. Fox didn't even make the deal. Let's be honest. He was
No,
just present.
Fenrir didn't make the deal, but Nox was there making the deal.
Yeah, but he didn't make the deal. He was not the person whose name was like connected.
No, I
with
think
it.
I was crouched on the roof.
Hey, sorry guys, I couldn't literally hear anything y'all were saying. I had to switch over to my phone.
All right.
Oh, when did you
Fair.
cut out?
Like 2-3 minutes, I was kind of going in and out. I don't know if you saw me.
Oh, we were
Okay.
discussing the auction and what
Yeah,
happened because that was like a year and a half ago.
yeah.
It is relevant to my
Yeah.
character, but I rolled really well on deception, so you don't know that.
That's all I heard before. Like all I heard was 24 on deception. Then I couldn't hear anything else.
Clarifying what
Yeah,
we think happened.
clarifying what was happening. But even so,
yeah.
they're still looking for the gem.
Yeah, so they can be doing that, but I'm just bringing
Yeah.
up that it's probably not the auction. They have a lot of information, but it's also funny because like Ox is the most distantly related to it possible,
Yeah.
and no one else
And
has any relation
anyone
to it.
else that was like connected to it is now dead so.
Yeah.
Like
and
the
of
one who
course,
created the deal is dead so.
like Fenner and that don't really know much about Nox's past either.
Right.
Like they've got caught
Not
up
only-
in all the crap going on around him, but they don't really know the history.
So now someone who has just met you knows a little bit more about you than the other
Yep.
people. Fun.
You know, the more we wander around here, the more mysterious you seem, Druid.
Hey, it's not always a smooth road to get where you need to go.
It never is.
Shrugs. Fenrir's gonna flinch at a anvil hitting from the distance. You're like, can we get a move on? He looks at the person that he's just directly interrupting the conversation with.
Yeah, so our friend here doesn't like a lot of too much noise.
I was looking at the inventor, by the way.
He goes, "Oh yes," and he takes you all into his shop, and you can see that there are a couple people working, there are a couple people going about, people are anviling, people are crafting stuff. It's all a great time. And he's like, "Come into my office. Come on." And he brings you in, and he's like, "Alrighty, now." And he hops on a thing, and without you even like being able to do anything, he takes off the necklace.
While that's happening, can I make an investigation or a perception check to see if there's anything worth stealing?
Is
I
there
don't know, I was
anything
just
in the
looking other
ceiling?
way.
Worth
Worth
Anything
stealing.
Oh, worth stealing. I mean, you don't really need to. There's nothing really in here. Like paperwork. There's like a filing cabinet. There's a desk. It's a small office.
Yeah.
So
Always good to check.
yeah, there. Like your passive perception, you look around and there's really nothing to steal.
Fair enough.
And you see Nox for the first time. Nox, do you take it back? Do you what do you do?
I guess he wouldn't really worry, given that the whole reason he ever came here in the first place was, for the crystal, because when he first came here, he didn't have it.
He
so yeah.
puts it down on the desk. He starts to like put on these like magnifying like goggles, and he's like looking at it. He's like, you know, you really should be more careful with combat and all whilst wearing this. And he's like tinkering some stuff. He's like, damn, you damaged this a little bit.
I never
Meanwhile,
mentioned
Kelda, you're seeing his face for the first time.
What?
that.
Wait, actually, would
And your
Mason?
immediate reaction is there is a demon in the room.
Ah,
Wait,
Oh, wait, did
is this
Mason ever
also
see?
Mason?
Yeah.
I think Mason's
No,
seen.
no. I
No,
don't
I
think
have
Mason
not.
has.
Oh,
Wait, yeah, because in the castle, the magic didn't work.
Yeah, that's right. In the castle, the magic didn't work. So you saw
Okay.
it then. As well
He
as
wasn't
when
there
you
for
were
that.
inside, when you all went inside that one person's head.
Oh,
In his
Well,
dream,
actually, I don't
in that
remember.
dream world, you also saw Nox. Without any sort of disguise.
I think we never
Yeah.
brought it up, so he gets
yeah,
to
that's
react.
what.
I don't think we
that's
ever
what I
made a
mean.
big deal of it because there was a lot of things happening at the time.
Yeah, that's what I
To
mean.
be
I don't
honest,
remember hearing that.
but
With
it isn't like an unfamiliar face. You've definitely seen it before.
Alright.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I love
so-
that little freaking thing.
Got it.
that
Oh,
is
that's so
really cool.
All right, so yeah,
Basically, he's boozed. He's got a really long arc, sort of, kind of like a foxtail. He's covered in a very, very short, fine fur on his upper body, and he's got some quite
No,
ritualistic
now I'm
looking.
really offended that everyone keeps asking me if my tail is wagging.
Tattoos and scars across his chest, which were covered by the
to be
glamour
fair,
that he had
Fenrir,
on.
it is mainly Catface, and Catface is a cat, and you are dog
It's
descendant.
fine, but
so-
also, there is someone else in the party who literally has a tail at all times.
it's true.
So the
Well, the only other
glamour
person that has a
crystal,
tail.
glamour crystal only covers like the upper body. It doesn't change the hooves or the tail, so that's why he wears the long cloak.
Right.
He's where usually the whites of someone's eyes are. It's black, and he's got yellow irises, and he's got a
Eyes of a panther.
purple gemstone set in his brow. He's got a long, thick mane of white hair and horns, which
Okay.
is usually associated with tieflings, which are considered demons.
And all that's going through your head is there's a demon in the room that is 7 foot tall,
and he's just stood there relaxed as anything.
and nobody else is reacting to this.
Huh. I think definitely it's a. Oh, right. Okay.
Nox, as
But
she
again-
exclaims this, you get the sudden, like, oh shit. My look would definitely be considered as a demon.
He's never cared.
He sort of would glance to one side and go, "If you've been in the university for any length of time, surely you would have heard of me."
Wasn't really focusing on that ever. And if I had been, I wouldn't have expected to be, right. Okay. She kind of just. She's, like, been frozen since the reveal, and she's like, I kind of just.
So Nox
When
would just
you're
sort of
so
like
shocked
put his
that you
hand.
can't really do anything.
Yeah, Nox would put his hand up and just say, "For the record, not a demon." He kind of
You
hopes
kinda
Catface would back him up on that.
Totally true. Can't say the same about myself.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
long story.
Okay.
And a sad one.
I'm gonna sit down. And she just kind of immediately sits down where she's standing.
Just cross-legged on the floor, like,
Just
rocking back and forth.
not even just rocking. She's just like, okay, okay. Just like
Mason would
head in one
go up
hand.
to Nox and ask, "Should we also tell her about Fenrir?" Just like whisper it to him.
Fenrir is literally like looking
Fenrir's
around.
not paying attention, just in the corner.
Yeah, he's just
Nox
looking
is
around.
literally just like one step at
Yes.
a time.
He's flinching at noises and looking around because he can't stand still.
Alright, I think I got it. Alrighty,
And
so
she's just kind of muttering to herself, she's like, I got used to magic, and I got good magic, I learned that. Didn't warn me about these things. Didn't warn me.
alright. So
Wait,
I
we
was
can
fine
still-
with a frog.
he holds
could-
up now 2 pieces, and he's like, I think I got a better plan for this. And he puts around your neck, sort of like a collar, but instead of going around your neck, it kind of goes around like the base of your neck, where it could be like
Oh, where
hidden
the collarbone
underneath like a
is.
shirt.
Hmm.
And then he's like, and then take this, and he like attaches it to your side. And he's like, alright, now all you have to do is you have to put a little magic in it to activate it, and put a little magic in it to deactivate it. And boom bada boom, you got an on-off switch that'll automatically convert your face to how it was before. And now we don't really have to worry about combat damaging the whole thing.
I wanted to
Especially the
imagine
gem.
that he
If
set
the
it up,
gem
it
gets
didn't
broken,
invert.
you're screwed.
I see.
Now, I don't know, but do you have the other gem by chance?
I didn't get to keep it, did I?
No, Keck has it.
Yeah. I'm afraid that one is,
Oh,
for now at least.
that's not too good, but at least we can fix this one. The mob is out and about, a little more active in this region. They heard that someone made something for it. They don't know it's me yet. So keep it on the down low.
I do try to keep a low profile where possible.
Thank
The
you
whole reason I
kindly.
wanted this in the first place.
As well as with this new thing, you can hide it a little better.
Much appreciated.
Alright. Oh, miss, why are you on the floor?
I'm having a moment. I just met this man. Need a second.
And I haven't seen him in like a year.
She's not
Not
so
the
used to
same.
my presence.
Ah, with the horns and whatnot.
I met
Yes.
him maybe a few hours ago at most.
Most of the long-term staff and administration in this place are well aware of my nature, but others not so much.
You also got a pair of new companions with you other than the miss.
Yeah, this one's got his own tricks. And he didn't even bat an eyelid when he saw me the first time.
Are you pointing to Fenrir?
Oh god, yeah.
Okay, just making sure. He looks at you and says, "There's something familiar." And he puts on his goggles and he like flicks through a couple lenses and he's like, "Ah, interesting. I didn't think you'd be traveling with one of these.
I
If you want to
assure
sell
neither did
them,
I.
there's a high price on the slave market."
Absolutely not. And like for the first time, as well, Calder would see a very, very different sort of
Hey,
look come across
hey,
Nox
hey,
as he...
calm down, calm down. I'm just saying. They've been coming around too lately. The headmaster's getting a little more lenient with slavery and all that. It's kind of frightening. But just saying, if you're in a pinch,
That is
Well,
His
not.
existence
that-
here quiet.
That will never be on the table. Just keep that out of your minds, please.
sure thing, sure thing. And you are?
My
Just say,
name
like, for Elder's reason, at the point where Nox got annoyed, the room got a little darker. And then it sort
Right.
of returns back to normal.
Yeah.
See,
Okay.
not demon things. These are things that not demons can.
Yeah.
Perfectly
Uh,
normal.
Or these
Yeah,
are
and-
things that exactly demons can do.
We don't know.
Because you don't actually know what demons can do.
Maybe they're all
Yeah.
cats. That's where cats came from.
I think it's just kind of like reached her limit on being very confused, and it's just like, okay, I can think about these things later.
Cafes is like, I think we should go back to home base for now. I think we kind of broke her.
Yes.
We came here
by
to
the
search
way-
the tunnels.
I get that, but I don't think doing that now with this one not being at top shape will do us any good.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, who knows? When we get back, we might have, and rest a little bit, we might have more information. Maybe one of her contacts will visit us. Or send a letter. Or note, or whatever.
Nora seems anxious but doesn't have a response.
I think we better get you away from all this noise as well.
Yeah, Fender, the noise hurts. Like,
Yeah.
hurts. And you can just, like, smell, like, fire everywhere. And it is not good.
Fine.
Alright. And you guys return to your home base, which I actually put a marker on the thing for.
Nice, nice.
Um,
Once we get... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, once we get to home base, once Nox is like a little bit out of, like, I try to like pull him to the side and tell him about the whole seeing all those spirits within, what was it, the darkness?
When he mentions that Nox, your mind instantly goes back to how Yen Sidric died.
Yeah, like you'd notice a definite change in Nox's demeanor.
You would notice that there is now like a whole shroud of darkness around him as you mention that.
Mason takes a few steps back, like, oh, whoa, look, I just figured, since I can see things, you should know.
Unfortunately, I was aware of the nature of that darkness.
We will be asking questions to Hilda that makes it clear that he has never met a halfling.
How long till you grow up?
Tall
How
as I'll
long
get.
until you get
No.
bigger?
Is it?
Why are you snack-sized?
Why are you so big?
He ate lots of meat.
I eat a lot of meat too.
The only way to live. I wouldn't be alive if I weren't big.
Impractical to be that big, to be honest.
Fenrir, you casually just say, "Yeah, well, then one of the sandworms would eat me up if I was your size."
All right.
Yeah, no, I'm average size. And she just like completely ignores the sandworm thing. It's like, yeah, later. Deal with it later.
All right, and that is where we're gonna end it for today. That was fun.
Yep.
All right, we will see y'all next time. Bye bye.
Have a
See
good
ya.
one.